Correct. So yesterday we were discussing about the print statement, right? So we were showing like how what all you can do in the print statement. Okay, for example, uh, where were we? Yeah. So I was showing you the separator, right? So normally when you are printing few things, by default the separator will be a space, but if you want to give any value, you can do that, right? One is a separator, second thing is a end, right? So at the end what you want to print. Okay, so I hope we are good with that. Okay, and next we have the another way of printing. So it's called, okay, print formatting. And also, for example, let's say we are having x equal to others, okay, and some L equal to some 1 2 3. Okay, now if I want to print hello, percentage of s, list items are percentage of s. Okay, and here you can give percentage of, yeah. So here try to yeah, so try to understand here. Sometimes, when you are printing, so this is how you can print different statements. First thing is you can directly print. Normally if you want to print a string, you just write that and it will print that. Okay, and second thing is, we have seen like if you want to print something, what we are doing, so if we whatever you want to write or print, you will write that, okay, in quotes, and after that you will put a comma, right? And let's say if you want, to print a particular variable, you will put that without quotes. Okay, and again if you write some string, you will again put a comma, and you will write whatever you want, and again if you want variable, you can do this, right? So wherever you want to write something to show something as such, so you are putting that in the quotes, and wherever you want to print the variable, you are doing without quotes. Okay, but let's say sometimes you have different variables like x, l, you have different variables, and you want to print them at different places. Okay, and you want to put everything in the quotes. In that scenario, what you can do is you can write as such. Okay, you can write hello, you write a percentages and write everything in the quotes and write whatever you want, and wherever you want to print this variable, right? So you need to give a percentage s. Okay, here you need to give a percentage s, right? And once it is done, okay, once it is done, see, you should not give any comma. Okay, once it is done, you just need to give percentage. That means you are saying wherever you have defined these percentages, right? Okay, you need to give s. Okay, so wherever you have defined these percentages, so there what will happen is, you need to now, once that is done, once printing is done, you need to give one percentage, and you need to give a tuple, and you need to give what all you want to replace. Like in first percentage, you want to replace it with x. In second percentage, yes, you want to replace it with l. Okay, and for example, let's say you will have a equal to some 40, and percentage is, if I give a, okay, you will get this way, and also 40. So if you see first write in single quotes, write what all matter you want to print, and wherever you want to use this particular variable, right, just give percentage s over there. Okay, just give percentage s over there. See, here I want to print a particular value, here I want to print another, here I want to print another. And you can just once that is done, use 1% and give what all you want to print. I think you can change the order also. Yeah, see, if you see, I have declared three percentages, and once that is done, I have start declaring what all these percentage mean. So once give 1% and give the values that needs to be replaced, and the number of percentage you declare should be number of variables which you are giving. Okay, but these can be in any order. So in the first place, okay, in the first place you want to print a, that means 40, so this a will be replaced in these percentages. Okay, and this l will be replaced in the second percentage, and x will be replaced in the third percentage. Okay, that's the reason in the first percentage we are seeing a, hello 40. In the second percentage we are seeing the list are 1 2 3. In the last percentage we are seeing x, that x is others. Okay, you are seeing over here, right? So when you want to print multiple things, right, and if you want to do everything inside the quotes, right, then you can use this format. Is that clear, guys? Do you guys understand that?
Yeah, yes, Santosh.
Okay, so after that there is one more way of printing, so that's called print format. So there what you can do is, it is also similar to that, but here what you can do is, see, mm, okay. Next we have something called as print formatting. Okay, so here what we will do here is, it's also simple. So for example, if you see, I'm giving name equal to, let me take others again, and let's say some salary equal to some 3000. Okay, then Hyderabad. Okay, now I am printing hello here in curly braces. Okay, in curly braces you will be giving. So what you will give, I will let you know. So your salary is this, and dot format. Now see, now what I'm going to do here is, you can give for example 0 1 2. Okay, and dot format. In the place of format, if you give name, salary, house, it prints. See, just like how you have declared percentage s over different places, and then you can declare all the values where you want to replace these percentages, you can put them in one tuple, and each one will get go and replace one percentages, right? There are different ways. So another way how you can do that is, you can use integers. So here you need to write the values where you want to replace in the curly braces. Okay, in the curly braces you need to write, and inside that you need to give integers, and these integers mean, so you once the printing section is done, you need to put dot format. Okay, in the dot form, after dot format, you need to mention what all you want to replace, like what all you want to substitute. So for example, name, salary, house. So this similarly, name will be 0, salary will be 1, and house will be 2. Okay, so here you will having 0 is others, 1 is 50,000 and 2 is Hyderabad. Okay, this gets replaced. And here, but now name is the value of name is 0 over here. Okay, the name is 0, salary is 1, house is 2, right? So if I put 0 over here, sorry, if I put 1 over here and 0 over here, it prints this way. So because if you see, it is printing what? 1. So 1 is printed over here. 1 is what? Salary is getting printed. Okay, and again we are printing 1. See, again we are getting salary. 0 is what? 0 is others. Okay, it's printing. So now whenever you are in dot format, when you put this, automatically this will be 0 index, this will be 1 index, this will be 2 index. Now it's your will and wish wherever you want to use these indexes. Okay, you can put any value over here. So if you want 0 over here, you can put wherever you want to insert those values, you can insert those values. Okay, you are doing it by the index. Okay, you're going by the index, and the index will be ordered in this format tuple, whatever you are giving. So it will start with 0, 1, 2. Okay, so in that way also you can declare. Fine. So, and after that there is another last way of declaring this. So it is also similar to this, but here instead of doing that, so what you can do here is you can give some random numbers x, y, z, and here you need to specify what is x equal to name. Okay, and y equal to salary, and z equal to this. Okay, now if you print your other salary is 5,000, your home Hyderabad. Okay, now x is other, y is 50, z is Hyderabad. But from where you are getting x, y, z, you have defined over here. Okay, you are defining specifically x, y, z. Okay, so once you do that, you can also, as we discussed, you can also change the variable. So you can put x here, y here, z here, and x here. Okay, so here wherever you are see this y equal to salary, so the now y will be 50k. Okay, that variable you can use it anywhere, so I'm using here. So this y will be 50k, and z is house, right? So I'm using z here, salary is z. Okay, now here salary is Hyderabad and x is other. Okay, you can replace this. So this another way of formatting. So if you just try to see, we are doing more or less the same thing in different shape and form. Okay, and you can use any one of these as per your requirement when you are actually writing the Python code. Because if you see here, what we are doing here, you are using a percentage. You are just like reserving some space. Okay, while you are printing, right? So after that, you are declaring what all you have mentioned over here. So how we are declaring? So since you're using percentage, we need to use percentage. Okay, and then you need to go for ALX, but in the order you have defined. Okay, here you should specifically follow the order, right? So whatever you are giving A will be substituted with the first percentages, next will be substituted with the second percentage, third will be with the third. Okay, that is fine. Now coming to print formatting, right? So here, what we are doing here is, sorry, here what we are doing is print format is more okay helpful, and which is mostly used because here you don't need to worry about the order. In dot format, you can specify what all the variables you want to use, and sorry, and in that, once you have specified these variables, let's say name, salary, house, now as we discussed, automatically index will be assigned. This will be 0, this will be 1, and this will be 2. Now you don't want to, and you don't need to worry about the order. I mean, here once you specify this, obviously A will be replaced with first percentages. But here, once you have mentioned in format, so name, salary, house, as I said, name will be 0, salary will be 1, house will be 2, and you can use this 0, 1 to anywhere you want. No need to follow the order. You can give 0 here, you can give 2 here, you can give 1 here. See, if I give 2 here, okay, it will print. Okay, wherever you want to use, it will give the flexibility to play with the positions. Wherever you want to replace, you can do that. Okay. And thirdly, if you want to, instead of using indexes, if you want to again go for variable method, so that is also possible. You just need to give each each variable whatever you're defining here a name. Okay, so a name is x y z, and then the same thing, just like here how you are playing with index, here you can play with the actual variables. Now what are variables? Variables are x y z, so you can give any value over here in place of x y z once you define that. And then as you see, you can use them in any order. You don't need to follow any order. Okay, since it is giving you that flexibility, most of the people will use formatting to print, because you might think like why we are using this, because when you are writing a code, you don't know like when you want to print something. Okay, if you already know, see, if you already know what all values that are getting generated, then you can directly go for this way, which we have initially discussed. Like you will print hello, then you will have a variable a, then you will say bye. Okay, then you will uh, print b. Okay, this is very simple and straightforward. So this, when you know already a and b, okay, when you've declared something. But now when you're writing something, right, so you don't know like which variable, some variables might get generated, some might not get generated. Okay, based upon some conditions you might print this, and you might print in different order. Okay, so you will understand like once you're writing the code. So in that scenario, format is more flexible way. Okay, because it will give you, you don't need to worry about the order, right? And also here you will give the additional flexibility with some variables. Okay, but this is very percentage is I would say very simple thing. And also I think if you have something like this b equal to 100, and I think you can also use I for integer, and you can uh, print this. Yeah, so percentage I will also work. I stands for integer, and mostly s, percentage s stands for the string type. Okay, but you can mostly you can use s, but when you are specifically printing, you want to print integer. Okay, that value, see in the last time printing b is what? Integer. So in that place you can use percentage I. In other cases you can go by percentage s. Okay, and yeah, so these are the two different ways how you can format. Let me know, is are we good with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then I think we are good. And after that, right, after that I think we have one concept. So this is regarding the print statement. So I would say what all we have covered till now, right? So those are like few basics. And after that, so let me go to a new notebook, and we have few interesting things to cover actually. Okay, so the range function, the other day we were discussing about the range function, right? So I would like to show you some different ways of range function, and this is like very interesting and very simple concept. See, but it's very very helpful because you will use range a lot. Okay, so now as you have seen, printing, if you print range, okay, if you print range of 5, okay, be attentive guys. If you print range of 5, what it will do, it will start, it will print, will start from 0 and print till what? It will print till 4, right? So by default the starting value will be 0 by default. If you don't spend, if you don't specify only single value, that single value will be considered as the end value, not the starting value. And default value will be start, it will be will be considered as start will be 0. By default it will consider. Okay, and that when you are, that means when you are saying only range of 5, it internally understands that you are saying 0 comma 5, and 0 will be starting and 5 will be ending. And the rule is it will start with starting index, that is 0, and it will end with end minus 1, that means 5 minus 1 4. Okay, so it will print 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so for example, if you see here, for I in range of 5, print I, so you got 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, that is simple. And if you just print range of 5, it will say range of 5. Okay, range will only like spit out the values, okay, once you start printing. Okay, but the actual range of 5 is just range of 5. Okay, guys, try to understand. When you are saying only range of 5, it is just range of 5. If you want to use values inside that, you need to iterate through it. You need to loop through it. How you can loop? Using for. Okay, we will discuss about for in detail in we will start that today, but just as of now, you understand for is a looping method. So where it can loop through all the values of range, and each time you loop, it can print one value at a time. Okay, but if you don't loop through it, the range will still have values, but it will just sit quietly. It is just saying, okay, range is 0 to 5. My range is this. If you want to see what all values I have, just use some looping method, and I can show you what all values I have inside me. Okay, that's the concept of range. Now, the actual value of the scenario of range is sorry, the syntax of range is range. See, once you understand this, right, so range will be extremely easy for you. So you can answer any type of question. Okay. So listen carefully. So the actual syntax is because, anytime, so when you are learning something, right, so you need to understand the syntax, the actual syntax, basic syntax. Okay. Whatever you see people using, so that's the generalized syntax. Okay. That means, for example, I'm saying range equal to 5. But this is not the, this is good. This is works fine. But from this, you cannot understand the actual syntax. Okay. So because for example, if I say, if I just start printing, if I just say range of if I say 5 comma 1, oh, sorry, if I say for I in, okay, range of 5 comma 1, okay, if I say print I, see, it's not printing anything. Why it's not printing anything, you need to understand. Okay, for example, if I say 0 comma 6 comma 2, it's printing some numbers 0 2 4. Okay, so to understand all these, so if you understand a simple basic syntax, then everything is easy. Then you don't need to go anywhere. You will be able to answer anything regarding the range or any other concept, I would say. For example, let's say the actual syntax of range is start, end, step. Okay, three simple things. That means, what does this mean is, whatever value you are going to give, okay, it will understand in this way. So syntax actually means how the Python interpreter will understand it, whatever you give. So it will start with the starting index, it will end with the end minus 1 in n minus 1, and default step is 1. Now what does this mean? So see, if I say range of 2 comma 5, for example, okay, that means when you specify two values, okay, this is actual syntax. That means it always expects three values. One is start, end, step. It expects. Because it expects, there is no rule that everybody is going to give. Okay, because just now we have seen range of 5. Okay, we are giving only one value, but still it is giving you the answer. How? That because every parameter you see over here will have a default value. Okay, it will always have a default value, because it understands that user may not enter all the required scenario. Okay, nobody will enter 0 comma 5 comma 1, something like that. Okay, he will just, if I want to loop through numbers from till 5, I'll just say range of 5. Okay, with this range of 5, it will understand when I give only one value, but internally to run range, it requires three values. Okay, so internally the syntax should be satisfied. No matter whatever you give, the syntax should be satisfied. So that's the reason it will have a default values. It will have default values for each and every value you are giving. So when you're saying 0, only one letter, only one value, that will be taken for end. Okay, whatever you give only one, so that will be considered as end, and start will be 0. Now end will be 5, and the step value is, I'll tell you what is step. If you don't, I'm not giving anything. Okay, if you give only one value, that will be taken for end, and step, if you don't give, the default value is 1. So even though you say 5, internally it will understand as 0 5 1. Why 0? Because only one value, so that is given for end. So there is no value for start, there is no value for step. If there are no values, it will go for the default value. Default value of start is 0. Default value of step is 1. Is that clear, guys? Are you able to understand?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So now you see, if you give two values, if I say range of some 2 comma 10, if I give two values, again same scenario. Even if you give two values, the expectation is three values, right? The expectation is three values. So but if you're giving two values, what happens? It will consider the first value as start index, second value as end index. Okay, but third value, if you don't give anything, it will take the default value. What is default value? 1. So even if you give 2 comma 10, it will understand it as 2 comma 10 comma 1. Okay, the default value step, it will take it as 1. Okay, so this is how it works internally, and we will now we'll see what is step. Step means, if you say normally 2 comma 6, what it will print? What does this mean internally? If I say 2 comma 6, internally it means, can anyone tell? Internally it means what? 2 comma 6
Start is 2 and end is 6, like
and step is
1.
1. Okay, so when I say 2 comma 6, it internally means 2 comma 6 comma 1. Okay, if I say simply 2 comma 4, what does it mean internally for the range?
2. Yeah, 2 comma 4 comma 1.
Correct. So if I say only 5, what does it mean? How it will consider? So this is what our user giving values like this. Okay, this is how the Python will understand it, because Python should understand it from the actual syntax. In syntax is start end 0. Okay, step start end step. So if I give only 5, what does it mean internally?
It will take like 0, 5 and 1.
Correct. 0, 5 and 1. Super. So if I give uh yeah, so if I give, let's say 3 comma 5 comma 2, what does it mean?
Start is 3 and end is 5 and the step is 2.
Perfect. Perfect. So now when you're giving three values, obviously there is no need to like assign any default values, because default values will be used only when there is no input from the user. But if input is giving user, there is no need to use default values. So start is 3, end is 5, step is 2. Okay, if it is only 10, what will be the start end step?
It will be 0, 10 and 1.
Correct. Perfect. Okay, so these are the values. So I hope everybody understood, right? uh, yeah, so again, everybody give a thumbs up sort of thing if you understand. Okay. Okay. You understand, Meghana? You got it, because if you understand this, then it's done. So you'll understand, you can answer any question in range. Okay, so I hope you understand this. So now, once we are done with this, so now we understood what is starting and we understood what is end. Now what does the step is? Step is very simple. So as you might guess, so step is, if you are writing 2 comma 6, what does it mean? It actually means 2 comma 6 comma 1, from where, which we are just saying. So actually what it will print, it will print from 2 to 5, it will print. That means, so if you see, when you are having 2 comma 6, it actually means start is 2, end is 6, and step is 1. Okay, now start is 2, mean 2, end is 6. Now what it will print, from start till end minus 1, it will print as per the rule, right? So that means 2 will start with 2, 3, 4, end minus 1 is 5, 6 minus 1 is 5, 5. So these are the values actually it should print. Okay, so now it will start with 2. Now the step will come into picture. Step is 1. That means print every value with a difference of 1. Okay, this is with a difference of 1. How much it should jump? Okay, it should only jump one number. That means from 2 jump to next number, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is what it is saying. Okay, let me take a better example, so you will understand it clearly. See, For example, you should always understand it this way. So if you are saying range of 2 comma 10, okay, this you'll understand. When you are saying 2 comma 10, okay, it internally means what? It means 2 comma 10 comma 1. Okay, that means what? It should print, actually 2 comma 10 means what? It should print values starting from 2 to 9. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the values that should be printed when you say 2 to 10. But when you don't give any step value, it will take default step value 1. That means it will print all these values 2, 3, 4, 5. That means step 1 means take one step at a time. One step, one step, one step, one step, one step, one step. But in same value, if you say 2 comma 10 comma 2, now the idea is to print from 2 to 10. That means what? From starting index to end minus 1. That means 2 to 9. Okay, these all values it should print. But how it should print? With a step of 2. That means start with 2. Starting is obviously the starting index 2. But now jump 2 steps. Step 2. That means 2 to 4. It will skip 3. Then 2 to 6. Skip 5. 8. Skip 7. And there is no second step. Okay, it will stop here. So it will print what? 2, 4, 6, 8. Getting step. Clear, right? Okay. Right. So we will see. See, for example, what we have just seen, we'll try to see here. See, for so yeah, for I in range of 5. See, as I said earlier, if you remember, I is simply only in for loop in Python. Even defining any variable, you can directly use I. Okay, see, we did not use I anywhere. Sorry, we did not declare I anywhere, but still you can use because it will loop through these range values. Okay, I'm saying print I. Okay, that means what? Every time it goes enter this loop enters this value, the I will take that value. Initially, it will be 0. Next, it will be 1. So you are printing I. That means what? It is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now if you see, yeah. So now if you see, it has started with, see, range function is there. So let me write here. Range, it is start, end, and step. Okay. Now see, range is 5. That means what? This will be start or end. If I give only value, that will be
And
end.
that will be end. Yeah.
Right. So now this is now even so this is actual syntax. So let's see whatever you are giving, it will be converted into the Python. So if you give 5, if you give only one value, so that will be end. So that will be 5. So I'll also write default values. Default value of 0 start is 0 and default value of step is 1. Okay, these are these values. Okay, there is no default value for end because if you give only one value, that will be taken for end. Okay, so whatever value you give, if you give only single value, that will be given for end. So there is no need to have any default value for end. Okay, now 5 will be taken for end. There is no value for start, so this will be 0 comma, and there is no value for step. This will be 1. So it means print from 0 to 5 at step 1, right? That means start from 0 and end with 5 minus 1, what? 4. Print till 4 and with a step of 1. That means what? 0, go to next step 1, next step 2, next step 3, next step 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 you should print. That's what it is printing. Clear? I hope this is clear. Now if you see, now in the range function, if I give 2, let's say 2 to 8 simply. Now, can you tell me what are these values? What is 2 start or end or step? So can you tell me what does this mean? How system understands this?
Start 8 is end. Step
Sorry,
value 1.
start
2
is
is start.
okay.
8 is end. Step
Okay.
value is 1.
Okay, perfect. Right. So when you give two values, it will the first one will be the start value, second one will be end value. There is no value first step, so it is going to take the default value 1. Now what does it mean? It means start from 2, print till n minus 1, that means 8 minus 1 7 at a step of 1, right? So 2 3 4 5 6 7 it should print. Okay, so now if I enter, so as you can see it has printed starting from 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, now similarly, but if the same value, if I give step of 2, now what does that mean? Now what does that mean? It is, I am saying, if I'm giving 3 values, so obviously it will take 1 value for each. Start is 2, end is 8, and step is 2. Okay, step is 2. Now what does it mean? Start from 2, same thing, start from 2, print till n minus 1, that means till 7. Okay, that means what? 2 3 4 5 6 7. So these are the values it should print, but step is not 1, step is 2. Okay, that means start from 2, skip 1 value, that means step of 2. This is step, first step, second step. So 2 4 6, and if you take one more step, there is no value, so it will stop here. So that means 2 4 6, the value, the answer will be. Okay, so if you see here 2 4 6. Okay, you're taking 2 means take 2 steps, first step, second step. Okay, take that step, skip 1. Is this clear, guys? Are you able to understand this?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah. So now once you understand this, right, now you can answer any question. So you understood if you what does single value mean, you understood what is double value, you understood what is triple value, and what are the default values, right? And it will always start from start index or n minus 1 and step whatever you give, and that's how it is. Once you understand this thing, then everything will be simple. Now if I say 283, what does it mean? Start from 2, print till n minus 1, that means 7, but at a step of 3. At a step of 3 means what? See, 2 start one, first step, second step, third step. So you should take 5, and that's it. First step, second step, there is no third step value. So 2 comma 5. So if you print, you will get 2 comma 5. Okay, so can someone try to attempt this? So I will say 1 comma 6 at a step of 4. What will be the answer? 164. You can chat, you can unmute and say, or you can
1
the chat.
5 sir.
You can just attempt. Sorry, 1.
Only 1.
Sorry, it was not clear, Sirisha. Can you repeat?
Would it be 1 and 5?
Okay, we'll see.
Oh,
Mohan 1 and 5. Okay, any other guess?
1 sir.
1, Sirisha?
Only 1.
Only 1. Okay. Any other answers? You can just give it a try. That's fine. Meghana, Nikhil?
1 5.
1 5. Okay, Nikhil?
I'm thinking 1 4.
1 4. Okay, fine. Let's try. We will see. No issues. So simple. What does it mean? 1 6
Yeah.
4, right? 1 6 4. That means what? What is when we are giving 3 values? Obviously, it means 3 values are defined, and there is no need to go for any default values. And this will be start, this will be end, this will be step. So now what does it mean? Start with the starting index and print till end minus 1. Okay, that's what we have studied, right? So n minus 1, that means what? Start from y1, go till 5. So first don't worry about the step. Okay, every time you see, right, don't worry about the step. So first check about start and end. Start from 1 and go till end minus 1. That means what? 1 2 3 4 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. So this needs to be printed. But now comes the step. That means start with first value will always be printed, because you need to start from the starting index. So 1 is printed, and then go for fourth step. Okay, if step is 1, this is step 1, but here step is 4. That means what? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is fourth step, so it will print 1 comma 5. After that, there is no other steps to print. Okay, so now if you see we have printed 1 comma 5. Okay, so start with start index and fourth step, that means first step, second step, third step, take the fourth step. Okay, so that is how it will print. Okay, so I hope you understood. So let's just take another example. So let's say if I want to print some 3 to 3 comma 7. Okay, what it will print?
4, 5, 6.
3,
3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Okay, that's perfect. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I say, so now if I say, see, 1 comma 5 comma 2.
One and 3.
Perfect. Okay, now can you tell me? So I will start with 5 comma 2 comma step 1. Anybody, any guesses?
It should give error, right? Like,
Why?
because starting is 5 and we are declaring is end as 2.
Okay,
So, like start is greater than end, right?
correct. So the thinking is correct, but if you see, it will not give any answer. Okay, range function actually will never give you error.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but the thinking is correct. So that we should understand. So here what we are saying, so you are saying start with 5 and end to, you should end is 2, step is 1. That means what? Start with 5 and print till n minus 1. That means 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, at the step of 1. So but if you start with 5 and keep on taking one step, okay, that means even if you take 6, 7, and you can never reach 1. Okay, so it is in this direction, negative direction of the number line. So this will not work. So if the values are not giving any answer, right, so the range function will simply print nothing. Okay, so it will not give you any error. Okay, but that's fine. So I think now you guys in a position like to answer like any kind of combinations of this range, right? So even if you see, this will be the syntax. So once you are, that's what I'm saying, once you are comfortable with the syntax, right, you can just open Google and you can try to solve any range problem, so you will not have any difficulty. For example, see, I have few examples noted down here. We'll try to understand that, so that should be simple and fast. So for example, as I said, range of 5 is, so if you just print without looping, right, always try to understand, remember, range will give values only once you loop through it. It will have values, but to give it, you should loop it. Okay, so for example, if you just say range of 5, it's just range of 0, 5. That's fine. Now for I in range of 5, print I. Okay, so it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is very simple for us now. Now, as I said yesterday, we are just combining few concepts here. So for I in range of 5, print I, that's fine, but end equal to, we are saying space. Okay, so Mohan, yesterday you missed the class, right? So it's very simple. So I'll just quickly, when you are printing here I, every time it comes inside, it will print I. In this scenario, it will print 0. Next, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. Why it's going to next line? Because once you print something, okay, here, just like how the range is having a default value like start, end, and step, every function, right, every function inside the Python or in any programming language should and must have default values. Okay, that means that is a syntax how that particular function will run, whether it is a print function or whether it is a range or list or any value will have default values, because we don't know what all values will user will input or he will not input. Okay, we cannot rely on him. So whatever he inputs, we should follow the default syntax. If he gives all values, then that's fine. But if he's skipping any values, we should always go for the default value, just like how we did in range. We always have default values 0 and 1, right? So if he's giving, we will use whatever he's giving. If he's not giving some values, we are going to replace it with the default values. That's the significance of the default values. Here also in print statement also, even though we always just print whatever we want, but actually the print will have a syntax. It will have something called as end. Okay, end. And what does it mean? How to end? Okay, after printing this, how to end? Okay, that means but by default this will have /n. You remember /n is for next line, right? /n is for next line, /t is for tab space, right? Right, Moon?
Yes, Santosh, I got it.
Yeah. So but we don't specifically give this. Why we don't give? Because it's by default. By default, it will be considered that, because when you don't give anything, it default. So that's why whenever once it comes inside, it will print 0. After that, we are not giving anything by default. It will go consider this as /n. That's why it's going to next line. Print 1 again /n that. But sometimes you don't want to do this. You don't want to go to next line. In that case, you can explicitly and come here and mention that, because you don't want to go with the default values. So that's why what I'm saying, you should end with something space. That means what? After printing a value, it will not go to next line. It will not use /n. It will use whatever you are giving here. It will just do with a space. So that's why when I print this, the printing is same for in range, everything is same. It's just at the end, after printing 0, it will just take a space. It took space. Print 1, next space, print 2 space. In this end, you can give any value. Okay, in this end, you can give any value. For example, if I give hash, yesterday we were seeing this example. Okay, so it will print 0. At the end, it will put hash. Print 1 hash. Okay, like that it will do. See, as you can see. Okay, so you can play with it at the end, whatever you can do. So if you have /t, it will give it will give a tab space. Or even if you print, let's say I want to print Mohan, so it will print 0 Mohan, 1 Mohan. Okay, or if you want to print 0 1, anything you want to give at the end, whatever you want to do, it will do that. So but if I just want to give some space, it will just give space. Okay, that's the scene of end. Now coming to range function. So yeah, so for I in range of 2, 5, right? So I in range of 2, 5, we are printing I. Okay, now what does it mean? Same thing we have discussed. 2, 5, that means print from 2 to 4. So it's 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Same thing what we have discussed. 2 to 10. Now I think you should be fast enough, like just to understand. When you're saying 2 to 10, most of the time, see, 99% of the time we use step 1. We don't want to skip values. Okay, you can skip, but mostly we will just use start index and end index. We will say start with some value, end with some value. Okay, or 3 to 15, something. We don't use step much. Okay, because we don't want to skip. But if you want to give step value like 2, 3, 4, you can give. Okay, but normally when you see two numbers, it means this is start index, this is end index. Print starting to n-1. Okay, so the moment when you say 2, 5, you should be fast enough. You just need to understand 2 and 5 minus 1, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2 to 10, it means 2 to 9. But sometimes it will say 2 to 10 with a step of 2. That means what? From this 2 to 10, actually you should skip one value, then takes one step or 2 step at a time. That means start with 2, then this is step 1, step 2, print 4. Again, step 1, step 2, print 6. Step 1, step 2, print this. After that, there is nothing. Okay, so for example, if I would like to ask you this question. So in the same scenario, if I say start with 1 and end with 8 at a step of 3, what will be the answer? 183.
One, 4, 7.
147. Let me see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your end is this. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So we are starting with this. Okay, it will print 1 and step of 3. 1 step, 2 step, 3, 4. Again 1 step, 2 step, 3, 7. 147. Correct. So if I print this, you will get 147. Okay, So I hope we are good with this range function. Okay. And if you just see one more example, yeah. So 2, 10, 2, same scenario, 2, 15, 3. Now you can answer any question, as I said, right? So once you understand the syntax, you can answer 2, 15, 3. Start with 2, go till 15 minus 1, 14. Take 3 steps at a time. Okay. Now, second scenario is you can also use it is in a list format. So you can, so these are you're just printing, right? So, but mostly we will take in some sequence. So you will take in list or tuple or etc. For example, if you just do list, the range of 10, okay, range of 10, instead of printing, right? Instead of printing sorry, instead of looping that, if you say range of 10, so it expands internally, it expands and take all the values from of 10 into a list. You don't need to loop through it and extract the values. So once you use the list, okay, any iterable, okay, so if you use for loop, it will print each one at a time, but if you use list, it automatically expands and take all the values of whatever it gives into a list. So when you're saying 10, the actual value is what, from 0 to 9. The starting index is always 0. Okay, remember, it's not 2. The starting, when I'm saying only 10, it's actually 2 to, sorry, it is starting with 0 to 10 minus 1, 9. If I'm saying range of 5, that means start with 0 to 4. Okay. So similarly here also, range of 10 means start with 0 and end with 9. And here, yeah, so here you are having range of 8 to minus 2. So this is a negative indexing. So we are going to see in the string concept. So I'm going to explain you in detail over there, but just to give you an overview, right? Just to give an overview, see 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so see, it will start with 8. Okay, and you need to stop with end plus 1. So it will stop here. Okay, so it might be a bit confusing, but just because I have mentioned here, I will explain. But even if you don't understand here, don't worry. So it's negative indexing. It's a different concept, but it is very important concept when we are discussing the string indexing, right? So we are going to see in detail what is negative, positive index. You will understand it in a better way. But just I'll give you one line of explanation. So let's see. When you are seeing the step, right? When you are seeing step equal to minus 2. So earlier when I was asking, so this question, so when I said start 5 comma 2, you remember, Nicola? So you gave it will not print anything. That's correct, because why? When I'm saying 5 comma 2, that means step is 1. So I should start with 5, increase 1 at a time, 6, 7, 8, but I should reach 2. It's possible? No, it's not possible, because 2 will be somewhere over here. It's not possible. So that's why you'll not get answer. But if the step is minus, okay, that means what? You are decreasing. If step is 1 means taking 1 step at a time, adding 1 step. Step is minus 1 means decreasing 1 step at a time. Okay, then you will move in this direction. Okay, then it works. You will get answer. So for example, if you so before understanding that, so if I say for I in range of, so I said 5 comma 2, I think we have that example, right? 5 comma 2. Yeah, so here 5 comma 2 comma 1. So we it's not printing anything. Why? Starting with 5, you cannot reach 2 if you go in positive direction. But if I say minus 1, you'll get answer. Okay, why? So you need to decrease. When it's saying step is minus 1, so you should start decreasing. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, but it is step, whatever you are having this value, right? So that will be, so normally if you go with 1 comma 4, what does it mean? Start with 1 and take till what? Guys, is that confusing?
No, Santosh, it's clear.
Yeah, so in normal scenario, when I say 1 comma 4, what it will be? It means that take from 1 to
3. 1 to 3.
that means what? 4 minus 1.
Yeah.
Right? From starting index to end index minus 1. Right? When the step is positive. When the step is negative, it will be from starting index to end index plus 1. When step is negative. When step is positive, it will be end index minus 1. When step is negative, end index plus 1. So that's why you will start with 5. What is end index? End index is 2. 2 plus 1, it is 3. That means consider from only 5 to 3. And in that 5 to 3, go in negative direction with 1 at a time. So 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. Okay. So don't worry. So we will be seeing it in detail. But see, I will give you one example, and we will see. See here, step is I think let's see step as 1. Okay. See, when you are seeing step is minus 1, that means you should go in negative direction. That means start with 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, 2. But as I said, if it is a step is positive, if step is positive, it means start and end index minus 1. If step is negative, it is start till end index plus 1. Okay, just remember this. We are going to see it, no worries. But now here, what is step? Step is negative. Agree? Step is negative. And what is start index? 8. That means start from 8 till what? End index plus 1. How much will be the end index plus 1?
3.
3. So start from 8, go till 3. Okay, start from 8, go till 3 in negative direction because step is negative. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's what it is printing. Okay. But if you have a step 2, if you have step is minus 2, same thing. The moment when you see step is minus 2, that means you are going in negative direction. That means you should start from this, and when the step is negative, that means when the step is negative, start and end index plus 1. Now what is end index plus 1? 2. 2 is end index plus 1 is 3. So start from 8, go consider till 3. Okay, you need to consider only these values. But how you should consider with a step of 2? That means start with 8, step of 2 is 6, step of 2 is 4, and there is no another step. Okay, you should consider only 3. So it is 8, 6, 4. Okay, so it's, as you can see, 8, 6, 4. Guys, did you understand this native indexing?
Yes, Santosh. What happens if we no values are in range? Empty thing.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Range expects at least 1, because that should be given for the end index, right? Because for end index, we are not using any default value.
Got it. Yeah.
Right? So you should at least give 1 value so that it will take it for the end value. If you don't give any value, it will not understand. Okay. So yeah, so others, are we good with the range?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I hope you understood. So this is the last thing we are going to see today. So it's the same thing. So okay, if my negative indexing is confusing, right? Just forget about that for the moment. That's fine. So don't mix it with the positive index. We are going to see it in detail. Then there you will understand it very detail. So, but the positive index should be clear. So for example, if you have this 2, 25, so start with 2, go till 19 with the step of 5. Okay, so you're going to print that, right? So can someone answer this so that we can conclude today's class? So I'm saying range of, I will say, let's say 1 to 9 with a range of 2. 192, what will be the answer?
1357.
Okay, Mohan saying 1357. Any answers? Are you guys agree with this?
1357.
Okay. 1357. Okay, let's see. Perfect. So, okay. So 1357 is the answer. So the same thing, you're using a list, right? So instead of using that, as I said, you can say for I in range of, if you say 1 comma 9 comma 2, and if you say print of I, you will get the same answer instead of using loop and doing that, right? So it's a very, very shortcut. So you can just use list so that the output will be automatically collected in a list. You can directly use this list. Okay, you can directly use this list. Here it's just printing. Okay, so here, for example, if you see, if you don't want to print, and this is a list, right, you can put this value in some L. Okay, and if you print that L, sorry, if you print that L, you got this L1357. Once you are having these values in 1357, you can now play with the index also. For example, you remember index, I will say L of 0 1, right? And if I say L of 1, sorry, 2 5, you're getting, right? So L of 0, this is first index, now this is second index. Okay, now you can play with that. So but when you are printing, it just prints for the user in the display. You cannot again use this because you are not collecting it any one sequence or data type. But if you use list here, you can use anything. We'll see tuple or anything, but mostly we'll use list. The moment you use list, the answers will be collected in list. And if you give some name L, that will be 1357, and you can play with this. You can do what all you want to do with this L of 0 indexing. Okay, so that's about the range. Okay, so I hope that you understood range, and I strongly recommend to solve few examples on range. The sequences start, end, step. So just try to remember these three things, and it should be easy. It should not cause any pain. Okay, so actually I thought of starting loops today, but we don't have enough time. So tomorrow we'll start loops, the one of the most important fundamental concept of Python, and let's start that tomorrow. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you guys understood today's concept. So if there are any doubts, you can ask, or else I think we are good. Okay, cool, we can meet tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.